Welcome to another WalterFootball.com video. I'm Charlie Campbell, Senior Draft Analyst. Wanted to get into today who could be this year's Joe Burrow. So last year, a year ago at this time, no one was talking about Joe Burrow as a top NFL prospect. NFL teams went into the 2019 season seeing him as a potential late round pick, maybe a mid-rounder if things went well for him, but really was viewed as more of a backup quality player entering the 2019 season for the next level. And then, of course, you guys know the rest. He has this amazing senior year, Cinderella story, just incredible year from him, but for the LSU program and going undefeated, winning a national championship. So now this is not the norm. Obviously, this isn't the typical kind of thing that happens with a quarterback prospect. Typically, it's more common that it's a guy like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields who's been known about for a few years. Those are the more typical top of the draft kind of guys. But we never know what can happen. So I wanted to get into who could be some of the candidates this year to be a potential Joe Burrow for us to watch here with college football not too far away. So I'll go in descending order. Number 3, Kellen Mond. I think Texas A&M quarterback Kellen Mond has the potential to make a big jump as a senior. He definitely has the physical skill set to do it. He's got a strong arm. He's a good athlete. He can hurt defenses on the ground. He's got good size to him. Definitely is able to make all the throws, but he just has real issues with accuracy and consistency. As a senior, maybe he puts it all together. Maybe having another year with Jimbo Fisher, he makes a big jump. He was better last year than he had been the previous season, so you saw some improvement from him already. He does have some talent to work with him. The O-line has some decent players on it. He does have some receiving options. Osborne and I'm going to butcher this name all year, I know. Weidermeyer, the tight end, that guy could be a stud in a year or two. So he has some talent to work with. So I would say that he has the potential to be a Joe Burrow kind of riser. Do I think it will happen? No, I don't think it's likely to happen. I think it's more likely he's kind of a mid-round backup type, kind of third, fourth round pick area. But he does have a good skill set, and if he can just become more accurate and consistent, he could be a riser. Next up, I'd say Jamie Newman at Georgia. He was at Wake Forest, previously transferred to Georgia for this year. Great skill set, strong arm, good athlete, can hurt defenses on the ground, good size to him. Definitely has more passing ability than, say, Kellen Mond does, or from what we've seen in terms of just consistency as an accurate passer. But, Georgia, the situation really helped Joe Burrow in that he had a loaded team. He had the best wide receiver in college football in Jamar Chase. He had another first rounder in Justin Jefferson. They had 2 good receiving tight ends. The third receiver was really good. The offensive line had a bunch of future pros on it, and a first round running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So the skill set, or the talent around Joe Burrow was just amazing. Now, the Georgia issue, I think, could hurt Newman. Obviously, Georgia always has great running backs. I mean, that's just Georgia football. But they lost 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, 2 first-round picks in the offensive tackles. 1 guard went in the mid-round, and then another guard transferred to Tennessee. So the only starter they're bringing back is center Trey Hill. So that and the lack of talent at receiver are working against Newman being having a Joe Burrow type rise. But he is a good player, and I think he could be better at Georgia than he was at Wake Forest. So he's definitely one to watch, and I think he definitely has a first-round skill set. It'll just be interesting to see if he plays up to it, develops more as a passer, and is consistent enough to make that kind of climb. Now, my number 1 candidate to have the Joe Burrow type rise this season is Florida quarterback Kyle Trask. And there's a number of reasons why. I think some similarities are there with Burrow in terms of, one, just looking at them physically, the body size, the arm, accurate passing ability, having great intangibles. Trask, I've spoken with NFL teams and people from the Florida program. They rave about him. Great kid, great worker, great teammate, just like Joe Burrow at LSU. And I think with Trask, you see he has talent around him. Florida has a really good group of receivers, if guys don't sit out, that is, like Kadarius Toney, Jacob Copeland. They have other receivers. They have a great tight end for him to work with, and Kyle Pitts. Excellent coaching with Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen's done a really good job developing quarterbacks over his career. I think Trask will really grow as a player this year now that he's had a year of experience starting in the SEC. I think that's going to make him play with more confidence and just be able to process things faster, get the ball out quicker, which were some of the things that kind of you saw he needed to work on, and watching him last year was just speeding up the process, get the ball out quicker, and I think that's going to come along with the experience. I think the offensive line was a real issue for the Gators last year. They had lost a lot to the NFL from the previous year up front. So that new line, I think, should be better this year now that they have some experience and more time working with Mullen's staff. So I see talent around him, a quarterback with good intangibles and arm. He doesn't have Burrow's athleticism. He's not that kind of, the way Burrow can move around, hurt defenses on the ground. Trask, once in a while, you'll see him do something with his feet or take off on a designed run. That's pretty productive because defenses don't expect it out of him. But he's not going to be a running threat at all, and not anywhere close to the athletic ability that Burrow had last year. But on the plus side, Trask has a stronger arm than Burrow. So from that standpoint, Trask has that going for him, and a lot there as well with the Gators defense. Just like LSU last year, the defense played well for them. Florida has good defensive talent coming back. So I'm not going to go predict that Trask will be the next Burrow. I think he is a candidate to be that, but I don't think he will be. I think the more likely outcome is that Trask plays well and ends up being a second-day quarterback prospect. I think that's the more likely outcome right now heading into the season. But those three quarterbacks all have some talent. They all have some ability in their physical skill set and around them to be risers this year. So we'll be back with you again soon. You can follow me on Twitter at Draft Campbell. Follow Walt on Twitter at Walter Football. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. We'd really appreciate it, and I'll be back with you soon.